and gentlemen, welcome to Real Talk with Saieed Ali. I'm your host, Saeed. We do want to thank you for joining us, viewers. Remember, Trinidad and Tobago, we are live on social media platform, Real Talk with Saieed Ali on Facebook. And it's TT Real Talk on YouTube. Subscribe, like, share as we go live. So a little update for you viewers. The Ministry of Transport and Civil Aviation is advising motorists that the priority bus route between Mount Lambert and Kirab Junction will be open to light motor vehicle daily from 9 p.m. to 2 a.m. effective from June 22nd to July 1st, 2026. The ministry says the temporary measure is to support ongoing works linked to the implementation of a revisable lane system along the Eastern Main Road aimed at improving traffic management in the corridor. Drivers are being urged to proceed with caution when approaching active work zone, obey all postal signs, and comply with the instructions from traffic personnel on site. The ministry is also warning that temporary, daily, or delays are expected during the period and is encouraging motorists to use alternative routes where possible. It has apologized for any inconvenience caused and is thanking the public for their patience and cooperation as works continue. So Trinidad and Tobago, just a reminder, Ministry of Works and Transport and Civil Aviation is advising motorists that priority bus route between Mount Lambert and Kirab Junction will be open to light motor vehicle daily from 9 p.m. to 9 a.m. effective June 22nd to July 1st. Remember that, viewers. Another update for you. The Tobago House of Assembly, THA, is seeking a budget allocation of $4.12 billion for fiscal 2027, which Secretary of Finance, Trade and the Economy, Petal and Roberts, saying the funding will support a shift towards result-based governance and long-term economic resilience. That is for Tobago. Presenting the THA budget this morning, Roberts outlined recruitment expenditure from $3.03 billion on development program expenditure of $1.09 billion. She said the request is based on a projected nationwide budget of $62.16 billion and represents a 6.6% shares of overall government spending. So Trinidad and Tobago, that is what the THA is seeking. $4.12 billion for the fiscal 2026-2027. Let's wish them all the very best, I should say, in this allocation. So Trinidad and Tobago, into our current affairs segment. Activist Alicia Phillips and her mother, Camille, have each been granted $60,000 bail following multiple charges stemming from the arrest during a last Friday Labor Day march. The pair appeared virtually before Master Katisha Ambrose and were allowed to continue on the bail initially granted at the police station. No additional bail conditions were imposed. Alicia Phillips faced charges including leading an unlawful march, failing to disperse disorderly behavior, and resisting arrest. Her mom is charged with being present at an unlawful march, failing to disperse, obstruction of police officer, and resisting arrest. The matter have been transferred to the Superior Magistrate Court where pleas are expected to be taken. The case is next scheduled for July 20th. The pair appeared 10 days earlier in relation to protest action outside of the office of the Director of Public Prosecution in the matter, they were granted $10,000 bail on charges of disorderly behavior and alleged breach of the Emergency Powers Regulation. The earlier case stems from the public opposition to the decision to charge Saieed Ali following the January 20th fatal police-involved shooting of her husband, Joshua Samaru. Now, Trinidad and Tobago, many was asking, why did police officers hold Alicia Phillips and her mom? I thought Labor Day was supposed to be a day where unions and fellow friends and family come out to support that day. So, if police held Alicia and her mom, why didn't they hold other individuals on that very said day? Why didn't the police hold other groups or other people who were speaking at the Labor Day celebration in Siparia? This is just a question I am asking the Commissioner of Police. We heard that she was invited. So Trinidad and Tobago, I have one question. Was she specifically targeted on that day? This is what I'm asking. Was Alicia and her mom targeted on that day because of her speech? Now I want you to understand, Labor Day celebration in Siparia, in Point 14, let me tell you something, is a massive march. All unions are invited. Friends and family are invited to support the Labor Day. So, this is not a pre-trial thing here, you know. I am simply asking one question. One question. When Alicia Phillips was held by police, Alicia and her mom, why is it other individuals who spoke on that day did not get arrested? This is what I want to know, and this is a question I am asking. So all the invited guests who spoke on that day, why they were not arrested also? This is my question. This is my question. Labor Day is a day of celebration. It's a day of celebration. So why was she targeted on that day? Why not other members who spoke on Labor Day did not get arrested? And that's my question. And we're going to leave that. We will leave that Trinidad and Tobago for those in authority to answer. Now, I understand the charges, you know. I understand the charges. Because there are other members who spoke on that same day who were also invited. Why her? And this is where I rest my case. Why her? So again, Trinidad and Tobago, the trade union movement is seeking legal advice from senior constitutional attorney over the arrest of activists. Trade union moves to challenge Labor Day police action and her mother, Alicia's mother, during Labor Day celebration in Faizabad. National Trade Union Center, NACTA General Secretary Michael Anisette has warned that the incident raised serious constitutional concerns and reflect what he described as an embroiled police service under the state of emergency. Listen to this, Trinidad and Tobago.
This is not a simple matter, right? I believe it has some constitutional issues in what transpired. I'm not going to pronounce it, and we are engaging senior counsel to discuss it so that they will guide us in terms of the constitutionality that we see that was breached by the police.
Now, Trinidad and Tobago, he said, the review is a joint initiative of the labor movement. Anisette also accused police of becoming increasingly aggressive under the current SOE regulation. The veteran trade unionist rejected a police statement suggesting Phillips was not authorized to participate in the Labor Day procession, insisting she had been personally invited to march with members of the Cement and Waterfront Workers Trade Union, that is SWWTU. Listen to this now.
First point we have to pay attention to. Was the young lady allowed to make a statement before the march start as other trade unionists was allowed to do? Yes, she was allowed. Was the commissioner of police present when she was making the statement, another police officer? Yes. The fact that she was allowed to make a statement before the march start where other labor leaders was allowed to make their statements tells you something. So it is a contradiction.
Trinidad and Tobago, you understand what is taking place? She was invited. Now Trinidad and Tobago, pull it back. I want to let her watch something. The commissioner of police, look at it. The commissioner of police was shaking her hand. Look at it. So if the commissioner of police was shaking her hand and the commissioner knew she was there, just like other trade union members and activists, my question is, why was she held? Why target her? We just heard Anisette coming out to tell the nation that she was invited to speak before the rally just like anybody else. Just like anybody else. Just like anybody else. It's sad, really, really sad. Now Trinidad and Tobago. He questioned the base of Phillips' arrest, noting that celebration have historically included activists, community groups, and members of the public. Well, I guess the police did know this. So my thing is now, did the Commissioner of Police, Alistair Grovero, had a meeting with his officers before the march start to indicate to them what was the purpose of the Labor Day celebration? Did the superintendent of the Faizabad area or that would be Siparia police station, did he had a meeting with his officers to indicate to them the purpose of Labor Day celebration? Is the police officers and them who were present there, do they understand the meaning of the Labor Day celebration? My job is to educate you, the public. This is my job. Now, Trinidad and Tobago, keep in mind, viewers, that Anisette invited other groups. He invited other groups. So why? I would love to hear after the groups and them got their legal advice from their advisors, which will be constitutional lawyers, what is the outcome? Oh, trust me, Trinidad and Tobago. We're going to keep you informed. Viewers, we are going for a short commercial break. When we come back, we are going to hear TTPS defend the arrest during Labor Day procession. Stay locked on, viewers.
We'll be right back.
At Real Talk Studios, we dedicate our time to highlight the blaring issues we face within our community. Catch us live every Wednesday between 7 to 8 p.m. Real Public Concerns. Because your concerns are meant to be heard. Send your email to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com. When life throws you a curveball and you need a clear path forward, trust Real Talk Wrecking Service to get you back on track. Whether you're stuck on the roadside or dealing with an unexpected breakdown, our 24/7 wrecking service is just one call away. Fast response, reliable towing, and a team that's got your back. At Real Talk Wrecking Service, we don't just tow, we rescue. Real Talk Wrecking Service, your lifeline on the road to recovery.
True growth shouldn't make you wait. This month, Real Talk Financing is changing the timeline. Get up to 7% interest on a fixed deposit paid to you upfront. Real Talk Financing and Investment. Real results sooner. Call our Central or South branches today.
Connect with us on social media and don't miss the latest updates. Follow us on Instagram at RealTalk_Newsroom. Check us out on Facebook at Real Talk with Saieed Ali. Subscribe to us on YouTube at Real Talk Trinidad and TikTok at Real Talk with Saieed Ali.
Welcome back.
So Trinidad and Tobago, welcome back to Real Talk. I just want to remind you all, Real Talk Financing is giving you 7% on a fixed deposit. Remember that Trinidad and Tobago? Now, I'll tell you this, this is the highest interest rate that has ever been paid in the history of Trinidad and Tobago. So Real Talk Financing is making history in this country. Now, Trinidad and Tobago, when you invest $100,000 on a fixed deposit, with Real Talk Financing, you're getting $7,000 interest per year. Remember that, Trinidad and Tobago? That is $7,000 interest per year on a 5 years fixed deposit. So 7% interest per year, multiply that by 5 years, Trinidad and Tobago, do the maths, and you will see a reward. Remember that we are the only one in Trinidad and Tobago that is doing that. The only financial institution that is giving you that. So remember that, viewers. So back to our program tonight. So I just want to remind you all something, viewers. Anisette said he repeatedly informed officers that Philip had been invited, Alicia Phillips and her mom, invited to the march with him and the SWWTU contingent, right? but claimed his effort to engage police were ignored. He alleged that officers appeared intent on targeting Ms. Phillips and her mother. So remember that, Trinidad and Tobago, keep that in mind. Now listen to this. The Trinidad and Tobago Police Service has defended the arrest of 2 individuals during the Labor Day procession in Faizabad on June 19, saying officers acted within the law to protect the integrity of authorized event. Police state the annual march organized by trade union movement had the required permit under the Summary Offense Act. So they had all the permit under the Act. However, they allege that a social activist and a small group who were not part of the authorized procession attempted to join the march. You all just heard me saying that Anisette told the police over and over that Phillips were invited. Now listen to this. According to TTPS, the group was informed that they were not covered by the permit and would need a separate approval for additional procession. Police says that despite warning, they continued participating in what deemed an unauthorized march. The TTPS unauthorized march. The TTPS state the action was taken under the Summary Offense Act, which allow officers to dispense unlawful procession. Trinidad and Tobago, listen to this.
First point we have to pay attention to. Was the young lady allowed to make a statement before the march started as other trade unionists was allowed to do? Yes, she was allowed. Was the commissioner of police present when she was making the statement, another police officer? Yes. The fact that she was allowed to make a statement before the march started, where other labor leaders was allowed to make their statements, tells you something. So it is a contradiction.
So there you have it, Trinidad and Tobago. So Anisette told the officers that she was invited, just like anybody, any other labor movement leaders or any activists. She was invited. She was invited, but he said the TTPS or the officers ignored him. So why did they ignore him? Why? Why? Trinidad and Tobago, I'll tell you something, it's a real bacchanal, you know. So this is hence the reason why I asked the question. Was she targeted? Was she targeted? That is my question. But we're going to leave that for the lawyers. After the constitutional lawyers, the rights lawyers and them, when they give their hearing, we'll keep you informed. So switching gears now, Trinidad and Tobago. The Commissioner of Police, Alistair Grovero, has defended the leadership and operation direction of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, addressing internal accountability, staffing pressure, and crime-fighting strategies. His comments come amidst continued public discussions on policing effectiveness and reform. Grovero stated that the leadership within the TTPS is focused on maintaining integrity, improving discipline, and ensuring negative elements within the organization and address. Trinidad and Tobago, listen to this.
I am the leader of the organization. And it is for me to take decisions and operate in a particular way with integrity and everything else that comes with the office to ensure that that perception of the leader also filters down to the general members of the staff. And how do we go about this? We try to root out the negative elements within the society or within the police service itself.
Now, Trinidad and Tobago, I believe his comments come amid continued public discussion on policing effectiveness and reform. Now, Trinidad and Tobago, he also pointed to internal accountability system including oversized bodies and a disciplinary unit, saying the service has mechanism in place to investigate and address misconduct. So with me saying this, I just want to let you all know, I believe there's about 290 police officers presently who are suspended, not suspended, on suspension. I believe, on suspension. So it leads me to this question. If these police officers, listen to this, these police officers, you know you are a police officer, and you are caught in whatever racketing, I should say, or crime that caused TTPS to put you on suspension. You are not to report to work. Why is it that the taxpaying citizen, when we contribute to our tax, the police officers, why it is that they getting paid? Now, when you bring it down to the normal citizen, as long as you are charged and before the court on matters that is going on, criminal offense, I should say, let me tell you something, you work this fire here, you know. So how is it that these police officers are getting a salary? You know you're a police officer. You know you're not supposed to be doing that as a police officer, but yet you are caught up in an act. Why are you getting a salary? Why is the government paying police officers who are on suspension? You're supposed to know better. 290 police officers, I believe, are on suspension and collecting a salary. But nevertheless, we're going to leave that for the court. So Trinidad and Tobago, the commissioner highlighted issues faced, noting that leaves, vacancies, and workload pressure reduce the number of officers available for duty at any given time. The PNM had 10 years, let me say 9.5 years in office, to fix Trinidad and Tobago. And yet, crime continued to escalate in Trinidad and Tobago. Hey, hear this now. The commissioner, he said, transparency remained a priority for the TTPS. Listen to this.
I know that we always have the detractors in the public sphere. We cannot please everyone by what we do and by the decisions that we make. But I just want to urge persons that there are things called laws in Trinidad and Tobago. And the TTPS is a law enforcement agency. And thus, if you breach the laws, you will be held accountable. My officers will try to do so in a very professional manner.
While I commend the Commissioner of Police for saying such thing, Trinidad and Tobago police officers also have a role to play. They also have a role to play. Number one, what the Commissioner of Police supposed to reintroduce to Trinidad and Tobago, TTPS, is that every month, let these officers in each division go on some form of training of how to speak to the public. I want to ask the commissioner to introduce that in every station. Caller, good night.
Good night, Saieed. You know, there's all this fiasco with this Gail Phillips or whoever it is.
Yes.
You know, that woman, you know, I admire her tenacity, but what I am saying, can she come out and say why her friends was running from the police now? If she had come out and protest when innocent people are being robbed and mobbed and with this home invasion and things, I would have admired. But how is it that you're standing up for people, you know, they said, you know, this man put up his hand. What she should have done was not put up his hand, but put up his feet since in Maloney. So that would not have happened. Now, you're going to Labor Day. Labor Day march originally, what is what meant for, is for union and workers seeking the rights of the workers.
Correct.
Now, you are going this fairly because you said you want a number of protests for whatever the reason may be. Now, if Anisata Abdullah is saying that this woman was invited, why in the application, I am asking, why in the application, to hold these march or whatever it is, include, tell the police, well, listen, we are inviting this woman. Is she coming to announce something about labor? Because that march has to do with labor. Nothing other than labor. I am saying it is labor, it's a labor march. Why didn't they say that? I mean, so this woman come this fairly is for recognition and make bacchanal. And then come and say that she's having panic attack. Weren't you having panic attack when you are braving police officer? Now the law, the police explained this clearly, sir. What comes that this, and if you want to bring your bacchanal, then you must have a special permit. But no, you want to break all laws, and you must not get in panic attack when you're breaking it, but you're getting panic attack when you're being arrested. If you, I agree, the Prime Minister said this country is lawless, and she was attempting to do lawlessness, and I must commend the police officers for taking that kind of action. Be bold and be brave, sir. You cannot do what you want or how you want to do, or else we would become like Haiti. Chaos and anarchy would take our country. So once again, I commend officers, stand for the law. It is the law. And the next we have a former commissioner of police who's condemning. Sir, I think you should stay out of this. You are no longer commissioner. The police would do, like a batsman in the wicket, he say batting bad. Only he know what he is facing when he is in the wicket, sir. So again, let this woman our only hope. At this time, the whole, I think what they should do, put you on a quick preventive detention order. That she would understand it. Thanks a lot, sir.
Thank you, my friend. So viewers, we are going for a short commercial break. Stay locked on. When we come back, La Hunt rejects political biasness in Trinidad and Tobago protected list. More when we return.
We'll be right back.
At Real Talk Studios, we dedicate our time to highlight the blaring issues we face within our community. Catch us live every Wednesday between 7 to 8 p.m. Real Public Concerns. Because your concerns are meant to be heard. Send your email to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com.
When life throws you a curveball and you need a clear path forward, trust Real Talk Wrecking Service to get you back on track. Whether you're stuck on a roadside or dealing with an unexpected breakdown, our 24/7 wrecking service is just one call away. Fast response, reliable towing, and a team that's got your back. At Real Talk Wrecking Service, we don't just tow, we rescue. Real Talk Wrecking Service, your lifeline on the road to recovery.
Welcome back.
So Trinidad and Tobago, welcome back to Real Talk. Remember, 7% on a fixed deposit. You invest $100,000 for 5 years, you're getting $7,000 per year. Now, $7,000 per year multiplied by 5. It's $35,000 at the end of 5 years. Trinidad and Tobago, why are we at Real Talk Financing doing this? We recognize that times are getting harder. Our company is growing, I have to say locally and international, because we are almost about to open in Panama, a country where US currency is the dollar. So Real Talk Financing will be dealing in Panama, strictly US. Strictly US. Now viewers, we recognize, not we, let me say me, Saeed, I recognize that when you work hard and you have a lump sum of cash, you want to get a higher return. You want to make more money on that money. You have children. I have kids. So when I make an investment, I want to make sure that this money that I have worked hard for, that my kids is going to benefit from it. So when you invest $100,000 for 5 years at Real Talk Financing at $7,000 interest per year, where are you getting that? You're getting that nowhere. Nowhere. I have spent 30 years in the financial industry. So I and my company, we know what we are doing. We know what we are doing. Also, Trinidad and Tobago, Real Talk Financing, we have loans. Those of you who are interested in getting a loan, as long as you have some form of collateral, we will gladly, let me say that again, we will gladly assist you. Only at Real Talk Financing. So check out your financial institution, and if you're not getting it, Real Talk Financing is the way to go. Remember, Trinidad and Tobago, we are licensed in Trinidad and Tobago to have a financial institution. On many occasions, I have shown up my documents on television, and we are almost to open in Panama, where I did show some of my documents on television for the public to see. So it's not a side road fly-by-night program, financial institution. No, it's not. So back to our program tonight. Former Public Utility Minister Robert LaHunt is rejecting suggestion that a so-called protected list and the Trinidad and Tobago Electricity Commission, TNTEC, was created to favor officials of the PNM, insisting that practice has existed for decades and was never intended to exempt anyone from paying electricity bill. His comments follows claim made by Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar, where she allegedly that TNTEC maintained a protected list of individuals whose electricity service could not be disconnected. She said the list include former Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley and several others, current and former PNM parliamentarians. However, LaHunt said the list was not created for political favorism, saying that its purpose was to ensure a certain account receive additional review or a courtesy reminder before disconnection. Now Trinidad and Tobago, remember a senior official did came out and said it was extended to PNM officials from 2015 to 2025. So what now a former public utility minister is saying? Because an official, a senior official in TNTEC came out and said that it was extended to PNM officials. So what is Robert trying to say? It's not true. I tell you this bacchanal, but nevertheless, LaHunt added that there was a strong possibility that Prime Minister herself could also be on such a list. But nobody said that. Nobody said that the present Prime Minister were on the list before 2015. According to the senior officials from TNTEC, they said the list was expanded from 2015 to 2025 for PNM officials. Listen to this, Trinidad and Tobago.
The courtesy, this list over the years has been people from government officials, senior public servants, ambassadors, judges, people who, as the corporation saw fit or in their mind, would have said, well, you know, if, for example, these people, anything happened to their electricity, so it would not be good to have them out of electricity for a period of time.
So Trinidad and Tobago, he said, the practice may date back to the Eric Williams administration and stressed that it was never an official board policy or formal approved list. Well, then something wrong. Things happen above the board approval then. LaHunt insisted there was no political involvement in determining who was included and that during his tenure as Public Utility Minister, no one asked him to provide or recommend names. Robert, Trinidad and Tobago citizens are still waiting to buy yam from the yam seed. Former Prime Minister Keith Rowley bought from Ghana. So I understand you're trying to defend yourself, but at the same time, in 2025, 2026, these questions are being asked. It was extended from 2015 to 2025. An official in Tiantec is saying this. I'm still waiting to purchase a little yam from, by now I thought we'd have been eating Ghana yam. So for those, I wonder if anybody in Trinidad and Tobago purchase yam from Ghana. Is the yam boiling or not? Nevertheless, he also said he was not aware of anyone on the list avoiding payments. We will leave that right there. So moving along, viewers, PNM, the People's National Movement Chairman Marvin Gonzalez, has strongly defended the controversial 2018 closure of Petrotrin refinery, describing it as a painful but necessary act of leadership taken to save Trinidad and Tobago from economic collapse. Gonzalez responded to trade union leaders who, during the Labor Day rally in Faizabad on Friday, declared that the working class citizens continue to suffer from the fallout of the refinery's shutdown. Gonzalez said that the current United National Congress administration has presided over an estimated 60,000 job loss in its first year in office, along drawing a sharp contrast between the two parties' economic management. According to Gonzalez, Trinidad and Tobago, the economy reality of 2018 left administration with its back against the wall, making aggressive restructuring the only viable path forward to protect the country's treasury. The PNM chairman noted that a high caliber team of professionals from both the Republic and the private sector, working alongside representatives from the Oilfield Workers Trade Union, that is OWTU, untimely concluded that restructuring was necessary to safeguard the country's financial stability. Caller, good night.
Good night, Mr. Said. Great program, and a great program and educating the citizens of this country with reference to the Alicia Phillip girl. I praise that girl. I shower praises on her. Not many people in this country standing up for anything that is right. The Labor Day movement, the Labor Day march is not only about labor, it's to remind the world, remind the citizens that there's a constitution to protect your rights. And in that constitution, enshrine the freedom of speech, the freedom of movement, and the freedom to practice religion and so on in that constitution. So I praise that young girl. If Mahatma Gandhi and Martin Luther King and Nelson Mandela did sit down and say, we are standing up for nothing that is right, you and I and many callers to your program call and criticize and so on, would not have been here today, and they could not have called your program. So shower praises to that girl, and don't give up, young lady, don't give up. And when caller to your program, they must listen to educate people. They should have listened to Mr. Abdullah and Mr. Anisette and others what they said and gave a proper explanation to what happened there and what transpired. That girl violated no rules, no laws from the Constitution or democracy laws and so on. She violated nothing. She stood up for the right principles. Unlike people today who took their oath of office using the Constitution, they usually do it with the Bhagavad Gita, but they didn't do it. They used the Constitution to fool us, and today they use their office to violate all our constitutional rights and bring pain and suffering to us, the citizens of this country. That is what we must talk about. Mr. Said, you are a God bless fellow, and you keep up this great job you are doing, man. We will get rid of the darkness from this country, man. God bless you and your staff.
Thank you, my friend. So Trinidad and Tobago, switching gears a little bit, Members of Parliament for Labrie and Minister in the Ministry of Public Utilities, Clyde Elder, has condemned what he described as a blunt attack on trade unions by the former government through the closure of Petrotrin. He argued that a refinery closure not only displaced workers, but also significantly impact Trinidad and Tobago foreign exchange earning. Listen to this.
Because after the closure of Petrotrin, and of the refinery especially, we could no longer take crude oil, import it as well, refine it, and if we buy it for $1, we sell the refined product for $5. And therefore, we would have a gross earning on foreign exchange. Now what we had to do is sell the oil, hope to get a good price for it, and then buy fuel.
Hello?
Yes, sir. Good night.
Go right ahead, my friend.
Sorry, I just want to touch on three things real quick, man, before I go, right?
Tell me.
First of all, right, it have not one expert, but multiple experts came forward after the closure of Petrotrin and say that they make a mistake by closing down the refinery. You understand what I'm trying to tell you? Come out and they say that is the reason, even call them in, but say with your own mouth, that is one of the reasons why we have a forex shortage in the country.
Correct.
Now this idiot coming here to try and convince, I don't know who, because he look like he isn't convincing himself talking on that platform there about the reason why they close on Petrotrin. Listen, side, that is one of the reasons why people vote them out of government. And right about now, talking that garbage again, people don't want to hear that, right? People trying to get the thing back up and running, so people can get back jobs to go back out there and do
Correct.
Secondly, this whole protected list from TNTech, we want to know who's the people that allow this list to keep running.
Correct.
And we want to know if Keith Rowley coming out and talking about this list, why he name on the list? And what is the government doing to retrieve that money? If they owe any money to TNTech, we want to know if they're paying that money. Because when we build U-Side, we had to go and pay it, otherwise we get disconnected. You know?
True.
So I want to know if they're going to retrieve that money that any of them owe in. We need to know this. And thirdly, to this young lady that you arrested, let me tell you something, right? You see the police service, they just police selectively, So they have to be very careful what all they're doing. Because once they red flag you, they're always going to be on you.
Correct.
That's why I tell you, that whole police service side, from the very top to the very bottom, corrupted. And if all they don't know that, no, I'm telling you that. Because them, they'll do what they want, how they want, they know how to bend the law and how to do the thing. People need to understand that. Anyway, sorry, you enjoy your night, son.
Thank you, my friend. So Trinidad and Tobago, back to the closure of Petrotrin. Now, meanwhile, Minister in the Ministry of Energy and Energy Industries, Ernest Kesar, highlighted ongoing concerns affecting former Petrotrin workers, particularly in the delay in receiving land promise as part of their severance package. Now, Trinidad and Tobago. So while Ernest is saying that, Marvin Gonzalez, listen to what Marvin said. Marvin strongly rejected the narrative push in the Faizabad that the PNM abandoned the state workers. He said, former refinery workers received more than $3 billion in separation benefits, and a rubbish to claim that the PNM had lost the trust of the working class base. Now, Ernesto, he noted that many workers are still waiting on deeds for those land, but indicated that the government is now working to address the issue. Listen to this, viewers.
Upon checking, those lands those were state lands, and some of those lands are colony lands. Piece of them, 1 or 2 parcels belong to PSCL. Up to now, Madam Deputy Speaker, the workers of Petrotrin are still waiting on the land. And that it is difficult now. That's for now, that's a little bit, because we now, in this government, we are going through the paces now to do some restructuring of the loan, to free up the loan.
So Trinidad and Tobago, we hope that the workers and them could get what belongs to them years up the road. But nevertheless, I just want to remind you, the PNM cabinet took a decision to close down the refinery. They took that decision to close down the refinery. And I also want to add to you this. Remember when Ukraine and Russia were having their war? The cabinet took the decision, the PNM administration, when they were in office, took the decision to raise gas price. When Barbados was dropping the price at the pump and Guyana was dropping the price at the pump, our former administration, the PNM administration, cabinet took the decision to increase gas price. I just want to add that so you all will understand what is taking place in Trinidad and Tobago. Now, we're switching gears. The Water and Sewerage Authority, WASA, in partnership with the Ministry of Public Utilities, today officially launched a $19 million water waste pipeline replacement project aimed at bringing long-awaited relief to the residents of the Beetham Garden. The major infrastructure intervention seeks to resolve persistent, long-standing storage issue caused by the deterioration of the community main wastewater pipeline. Minister in the Ministry of Public Utilities, Clyde Elder, stated that the new technological employed in the project will adequately address the Water and Sewerage Authority leaking waste water plant in Beetham Garden. Trinidad and Tobago, listen to this.
The contractor will be doing is a special type of technology be using where instead of digging the earth from on top, they're going to more or less, my words now, drilling horizontally. And what that will entail is that they'll be using equipment along with water to make the earth into a slushy, and that is then going to be sucked out into a storage tank, which is then going to be taken away. So it makes it easier for the traveling and for the using public to continue to use the roadway.
So Trinidad and Tobago, the Water and Sewerage Authority have decided to use technology in doing their work. We do want to congratulate them in the step up. Now, the ministry indicated that a firm from the People's Republic of China, Sinohydro Corporation Limited, is the main contractor on the multi-million-dollar project. He said the project should be completed by the first quarter of next year, costing just about $19 million. Listen to this.
Have this project completed in a much shorter space of time, one, with minimized cost too, because there will be less repaving of the surface when they are finished. I anticipate that this project is going to take maybe just about 9 months or so. So it should be finished within the first quarter of next year. So I want the residents to know that there's going to be some relief coming within the first quarter of next year, and just about $19 million.
I have some questions, but I will leave it for another time. Now, the engineer from Sino Hydro, Young Pai, hopefully I pronounced it correct, said his company is committed to completing the initiative within the budget. Well, the first time I hear something like this, Trinidad, take a look at this.
Regarding this project, we will use chinchless technology to build the bypass along the existing shore trunk-way. Right? Then after that, we will make the connection. Our aim is to finish this project on time, safely, and the best quality.
So we want to wish them the best in this project, viewers. But I do have some questions. You want to dig down and you want to dig horizontal. But the thing is, how would you locate where the leak is underground? I understand horizontal down and across. Nothing wrong with using technology. Let's just hope that the technology could be able to pick up where the actual leak is. In saying this, I just want to remind you all, Trinidad and Tobago, when Robert LaHunt was the Minister of Public Utilities, remember, he went, I believe it was Israel, he went, my mistake, I'm open to take wrong on the country, he went to get a satellite, feed from a satellite, to locate where pipeline was leaking in Trinidad and Tobago. I can't remember how much millions was spent on that project. To this date, I wonder if WASA has that technology. And if yes, why are they not using it to pick up leak from the underground? This is just a reminder, Trinidad and Tobago. This is just a reminder. But, minister come, minister go. What we in Trinidad need is performance. Performance beat all talk. I heard someone was complaining about Jolene John and patching the road. I believe it was Marvin Gonzalez. Patching the road. Now let me tell you something. Contractors in Trinidad and Tobago have gotten large amount of money to do contract work in Trinidad and Tobago, fixing road. To this date, Trinidad and Tobago, I ask myself, we live in a country with 1.45 million people. We have main roads, we have highways, and secondary road. Viewers, we are out of time for tonight, but nevertheless, I will run up this program tomorrow from 11:30 to 12:30 p.m. We'll be right back here another night for another Real Talk with Saieed Ali as we go live again. Until then, be safe.